Welcome to another screencast. This time around we'll see how to add PPAs into our software sources. Now before I get into how to add PPAs, we should understand the concept of software sources. So I'm going to open Muon. Here it is. And Muon is one of the many applications available in Netrunner to install other applications. Now, the concept behind this kind of application is that you simply search for a term or search for an application and it will offer you to install it. And the way this works is that there is a list, the software sources, better known as repositories, that are directions and tell the underlying software where to look for. So for instance, if I look for an application like Chromium, and I can see more information. For example, there's a little summary, a screenshot, or I can install it either here or from here. And the thing is, these software sources tell the underlying software where to find it. They tell the direction of where the necessary files are hosted. Not only that, but if any file is missing from our installation and it's needed to install any application, the underlying software will look for this missing piece in all the other available sources. Now, this kind of software is very similar to a set of popular software available in mobile devices. So for instance, with Apple's iPhone you get the App Store, and with Google's Android operating system you get the Play Store. Now these stores are similarly looking and similar in function, but they don't actually behave in the same way. Two things to notice is that Linux got there first. Linux has been doing this for since many years ago, while this mobile revolution only started in, I think, 2007 when Apple announced the iPhone. And two, these other two systems like Apple's App Store, Google's Play Store, blah blah blah, are centralized. This means that if Google or Apple or any of these companies, sorry about that, don't allow any kind of application into their software, into their app stores, this software won't be available in any way, especially in Apple's case. Now, imagine that if you were using your iPhone and you wanted to install something Apple didn't allow, that you had the opportunity or the option to simply add a single line that will tell the store where to find this software. This will mean that these applications outside of the default sources are also up to date. They can be automatically updated. You can search for other applications in the same source, and this is very convenient. And if you think about it, it's extremely compatible with the open source philosophy. So this is exactly what happens in Netrunner. So if I want to install any application that is not available here, I can go look for repositories or sources in the web and add them to my current sources. So say I want to use Chromium, but I don't want to use this version of Chromium. I like to use bleeding edge software, and I want a daily version of Chromium. I want complete bleeding edge software. So I go to Ubuntu's Launchpad, net.net/Ubuntu/plus PPAs, and I can look for any kind of software or word that I think will get me what I want. In this case, we know what we want, so I'm going to look for Chromium. I'm going to search for it. Now, as you can see, I get a few results, and here it is, Chromium Daily Builds. Now, if I click in this PPA, It will give me a brief summary of what kind of content it's here, and it will show me the specific packages available. I can even pick which version I'm using of Ubuntu. Now, this it's Netrunner is based on Ubuntu, so depending on the version you're using of Netrunner, you're based on it. You're using another Ubuntu version as a base. Now, this bolded line, is the PPA line. It's known as the PPA line, and it's basically a short version of how usually deb lines or repository lines in Debian-based distributions look like. Now, to add a new PPA and to have access to a constantly updated repository with Chromium, with a daily build of Chromium, I simply need to right-click and click copy, or use Control C. Now I go back into Muon Software Center, and I click in Settings, and as you can see, there's the option of Configure Software Sources. So we click on it, we write down our password, and here you can see other software. We click in other software, and then we can see a little button that says Add. As you can see, one of the great things about Netrunner is that it already includes many PPAs, so we don't need adding so much PPAs like in the regular version of Ubuntu. That's because Netrunner is a very complete set of software. But even using Netrunner, we can get into a situation where we want something that is not available in the default sources. So we simply hit paste or Ctrl B, and we click OK, and that's it. The repository will be added, and the next time, let me show you. As soon as I close it, it will reload the sources. What it's basically doing is merely looking for any changes in the database. Since it has a new source, it needs to know what is in that source. So we'll simply check what's inside that source, and it won't take long. And once I've done this, I can install Chromium, and it will be updated every day if I choose to update everything automatically. Well, it seems like there was some mistake. It doesn't really matter, and we just click close. Now, this is one way of adding PPAs, but there's another way. It's actually my favorite way, but it's not necessarily yours. We go into console or terminal, and we can add this PPA by using the command line. So we use it's sudo add apt repository, and then we just paste the corresponding repository, and we just hit enter. We'll ask for a password, so we provide it, and it will ask me to add a PPA. I'm not going to add it because I already did it from the GUI. And as you can see, Netrunner offers a very compelling and easy way to add new software sources to your operating system, so you never find yourself in a situation where you can easily manage all of your software. I hope you enjoy it.